Aristotle once said, "Give me a child until he is 7, and I will show you the man." The foundation of a person's life is laid in childhood, and when that foundation is neglected, the cracks run deep, shaping not just the child, but the adult they will become. Neglect in childhood is like a silent storm that reshapes the course of a life before it has even truly begun. It doesn't break a child in an instant, it erodes them over time. It dims the light in their eyes, weakens their voice, and leaves them questioning their own worth. A child who grows up neglected does not simply feel lonely, they feel invisible, as if they are screaming into a void that never answers back. And the worst part? They begin to believe that this is how life is meant to be. Neglect isn't always loud. In fact, it's often quiet. It's the absence of a warm embrace after a bad day. It's the silence when a child shares an achievement, only to be met with indifference. It's growing up in a house that provides shelter but never feels like home. It's not just about the lack of food or clothing. It's about the lack of love, the lack of being seen. The deep wounds of neglect. A neglected child does not just suffer in the moment. They carry that pain into adulthood. They learn not to ask for help because they have been taught that no one listens. They struggle to trust because love, to them, has always been uncertain, distant, or non-existent. Relationships become confusing. They either push people away before they can be abandoned or cling too tightly, fearing loss. Imagine a child sitting alone in a school cafeteria, pretending not to care that no one joins them. Or a teenager lashing out in anger, not because they are defiant, but because they have never been taught how to express their emotions. Picture an adult, now grown, staring at a phone screen, hesitating to reach out because they've spent their entire life believing that their voice doesn't matter. This is what neglect does. It doesn't just steal a happy childhood, it haunts every stage of life. Psychologists call this learned helplessness, the belief that no matter what they do, nothing will change. And so, they stop trying. They shrink themselves, expecting little from life, from love, from others. Society often mistakes them for being lazy, unmotivated, or distant, not realizing that they are simply carrying wounds that no one ever tried to heal. But here's the truth. No child is born broken. Every neglected child carries within them the same potential, the same brilliance as those who were nurtured. The difference is not in their ability, but in the support they lacked. And if the world failed them as children, then it is our responsibility to show them that they are not forgotten. What can be done? If neglect builds walls, then human connection tears them down. It doesn't take grand gestures to change a child's life. It takes consistency. A teacher who notices the quiet kid and offers a kind word. A neighbor who asks, "How are you?" and genuinely listens. A mentor who shows up again and again, proving that trust is not a myth. For parents and caregivers, it starts with awareness. Children need more than food and shelter. They need emotional security, validation, and love. Simple acts, making eye contact, putting away distractions during conversations, celebrating small achievements, can plant seeds of self-worth that last a lifetime. For society, intervention programs that provide mentorship, emotional support, and safe spaces for children can make an enormous difference. Schools and communities must recognize the signs of neglect and step in, not with judgment, but with understanding and solutions. For those who have been neglected, and for those who have felt the weight of neglect in their own lives, hear this. Your past is not your prison. Yes, neglect leaves scars, but scars are not signs of weakness. They are proof of survival. The human spirit is not meant to remain bound by childhood wounds. It can rise, heal, and transform. Healing begins with self-compassion, acknowledging the pain but refusing to let it define the future. Seeking therapy, surrounding oneself with supportive people, and choosing every day to believe in one's worth can slowly rewrite the story. The power of change. William James once said, "The greatest discovery of any generation is that a human can alter his life by altering his attitude." If a neglected child is taught that they are valuable, that they are worthy, that their story does not end in pain but in triumph, then a new future is written, one child at a time, one voice at a time, one act of kindness at a time. And that, my friends, is how we turn neglect into resilience and despair into hope. Because every child deserves to be seen, to be heard, and to know without a doubt that they matter. The past may shape us, but it does not have to define us. And when we choose to lift up those who were once left behind, we don't just change their lives, we change the world.